All right, we're back.
Hello.
We are back. This episode is coming out this week. Uh, we were just at Astroworld yesterday,
Yeah.
Friday. Okay.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that are going to be coming out. Uh, from our perspective, and this is just an honest perspective. We were talking about this because I had to do an article for the press. We had no clue anything was happening.
None
The
whatsoever.
day Travis has, there's a lot that is going to have to come out. uh Prayers go out to the families. It's the only thing I can think of was when I went to go pick you up and you saw all those parents dropping their kids off,
Hmm.
like Astroworld, like back in the day, like when we used to get dropped off.
Yep.
And that's got to be devastating. One, to think that you're not going to be able to pick up your child, and then to eventually find out that you couldn't. Um, and just for anybody, no matter the age that lost life, there's a lot of things that are going to have to be addressed. I mean, we'll have to find out who's at fault. I will say there's this big contention, like it is all completely Travis's fault, and Travis is going to have some fault, but the man wasn't sitting there with a walkie-talkie saying, "No, don't do this." Like Live Nation, the organizers, security, medics, as things come out and as the lawsuits come out, which they should, we're going to find out uh, how and where the failings were at this concert. And at the end of the day, that's what it was. There were failings because when 8 people die, something went wrong. I see people online saying, "Hey, the fans should have acted like this," and that's true. Fans should act away, but
Yeah.
also you bring 50,000 people to an area as a group. Whatever group is doing this, you are responsible for those 50,000. I expect, as a teacher that works with kids, I know how kids are gonna act. If you know what I'm saying, like it's my response. If I cram 75 kids into a room, that's on me. I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. Like when I'm setting up stuff for different things, like if we go on a field trip or something like that, I know, like, yo, these eighth graders, these middle schoolers, these high schoolers, they might try to jump off that. Like, let's be prepared and let's make sure that this is done or that is done. So I would say, at least from my experience, jumping to conclusions on who's at fault right now is a little bit early because we are going to have plenty of time once we get into these lawsuits and start finding out who is at fault. And I, like we said from jump, would have very serious concerns about the organization as a whole. And I hope it happens again. Not the tragedy.
Last.
I hope they are able to put this event on again and make it safe for everybody, because until that moment, those moments at the end of the concert, a lot of people don't understand this was an all-day show. It was going to be 2 days. There were fairs, there were rides, kids were out having fun. There were local food trucks. We was talking to the people at Frenchie's for a while. Oh my gogi. Like everybody was out there, stuffed wings, all these local businesses, which surprised me that were out there. I was like, Travis could have had it be the Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, PepsiCo. He could have done that. And this is not, this is not me like, yo, Travis is like, y'all just don't blame Travis for anything. You're responsible. But let's not act like people out here wanted people to die or were trying to do things. This is just a failing of planning. The planning needs to be readdressed. People need to get down to the bottom, figure out what's wrong. Those families that lost loved ones need to be rectified. You're never going to get your child back, your person back. You know what I mean? We're talking about people hospitalized from 10 to as I think the last thing I heard is they still have somebody that they're trying to identify. They still have somebody that they're trying to identify. And What's also even scarier to me is the police reports, or the chief of police saying somebody pricked somebody in the neck with the drug. These are things that, you know what I'm saying, that's something I was like, yo, that's not under anybody's control. That's violence, that's whatever. But these are things that need to be addressed. There are a lot of things that need to be addressed. And if this concert is going to continue, parts of it are just going to have to grow up. Parts of it are going to have to grow up, but I hope that it is able to continue. Again, prayers go out to everybody that lost a loved one and everybody that was hurt. But let's hope that people are able to learn from this and we never have something like this. You should be able to go to a show, enjoy the artist that you love, and come home. And that's where I'll leave it at right now.
As hard as it is, I'm going to bring the energy up.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
However, I stay Houston down to my socks. So no, it's them again. It's them boys from, in my humble opinion. It is me. It's Avery, like a very nice guy. You can find me at Avery Zadius on all socials. And also I'm Avery Douglas, that's my government. And there's my brother, Just Devon, ladies and gentlemen, Devon Douglas, it's my brother. That's
that was me doing the super boring intro.
You know, it was no, you don't got it. I can't do that. That's why we're brothers. Me, I'm not gonna say, but you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like,
now all stuff aside, I mean, like I said, I think our genuine surprise was that anything had occurred. It wasn't until we got home. People started texting me, check Twitter, are you okay? People kept asking me, was I okay? Because we had been enjoying the concert. I mean, I'm not a Drake fan. I left a Drake fan. I was like, I'm not a Drake fan. Like, it's not that I don't hate Drake. I was like, I wouldn't have necessarily gone up there to see Drake. I was like, oh, yo, Drake was doing it.
You know me, I was up there breaking it up. And I'm not going to mention her name, but such and such was there, like Drake. And I was like, watch. And then as soon as Drake came, she was dancing. We were all dancing. I don't want to talk about that because it's bittersweet, because I got to admit, I had the most fun I've ever had in my entire life, but it's bittersweet because to know that a few feet from us, things were happening like that. So that's why I just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And that's, you know, people, especially the kids, they really, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come out and see this huge, massive concert. And again, I just can't reiterate, like, I hope that these families get their restitution. Like, that's the biggest thing right there. And on the flip side, I hope that this is able to continue, because this could be a big boon for Houston in terms of just having the concert in general. So,
And like we talked about, in 5 years, we saw this man go from to I am.
That is one of the more incredible things when you look at a Travis Scott and you look at Don Toliver, who comes on the wave of Travis Scott. Literally, this was not that long ago.
No,
like, this was not long ago. I mean, you go look at those old videos. These guys are performing in front of audiences that don't care.
15
like, literally just quiet crickets performing their heart out. And now the scope and the massiveness that it has grown into is ridiculous. It's huge. Where, you know,
it was the
video game, and then we're just talking about the things he's selling. Also, we did say it. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. We talked about how the kids get dropped off at Astroworld like we used to get dropped off at Astroworld, and that was cool. I was like, that's cool. There was one difference though. Our dad used to drop us off at Astroworld with like a Coke can to get in for free, and then you just kind of make it. Also, when we left Astroworld, They'd be like, "Hey man, just walk down the side of the freeway and just meet me over here." Like, we ain't even have no cell phones. Like,
No.
it was wild out there. I was
Yeah.
like, no, these new kids getting dropped off with bread, dog. They $500. Like, they was like, yo, the most you can spend here is like $2,000. I'm
$2,500.
like, what?
Mm-hmm.
These kids got money, man. They rich. I was like, yo.
It was ridiculous. Like I said, I hate to bring it up because it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was an amazing experience. Me and Devon danced. We are not dancing niggas.
I ain't no dancer.
And there's some Houston people that are very prominent in the city that we were all dancing. Like, it was very good.
I don't say I want to put them out, but I was like, yeah, there was so much steam and fire and smoke and firework. I don't know what somebody saved up all the fireworks all year over COVID and was like, I'm gonna launch them tonight during the first song. And I was like, yo, what? Oh! So yeah.
It was like a WWE event. It was just like,
it really
yo.
was.
I was like, wow. But anyway, we've talked about it way too long at this point.
Yes.
Because like I said, black and ugly as ever. Ever I stay Houston down to my socks. Oh no, it's them again. It's them boys from In My Humble Opinion. It's me, Avery, like a very nice guy. You can find
me. They know who you are. They know who you are. We've already done that part. Let's talk about the guest.
Let me do the things.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
Golly. And then Avery Zadius on all socials. I have my brother here, Jess Devon, ladies and gentlemen. You can find him as Jess Devon on Twitter. And also Dr. Douglas on Instagram. And you can find us both at My Humble O on Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. In My Humble Opinion podcast on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. And also, once again, we have a guest with us today. All right. A box is defined as a container with a flat base and sides, typically square or rectangle and having a lid, right? I say that to say it's definable. You know what it is. We all know. You know exactly what it is to the point where you ain't got to think about it. Well, our guest today will make you think because he's not just one thing. He's multifaceted. Does not fit inside of a box, all right? He once said, I want to wreck a rap show one night. Then the next night, I want to do an acoustic set. Then on the same night, I can DJ some house music, all right? He's defined as a rapper in some circles, but he's so much more. Rapper, singer, I hear them vocals, father, son, provider, man. He's also too raw. Too raw, ladies and gentlemen. OMG, too raw. Too raw, people. He's too raw.
What's going on?
What the fuck? That was fucking sick.
How's it going?
Like, dog. Go ahead, man. I was like, you're just saying more and more shit, and I'm just like, you. Like Superman and shit. Nah, bro, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you. That was a dope ass intro. We can already leave on that. Like, yeah, all right, cool. See you guys.
Nah, man, look, we appreciate having you on. We appreciate having you on. And you're one of those artists, like I said, we had seen a lot of your freestyles. We've seen you win these competitions. We seen you out here, all right?
On Dende Hour. You know what I'm saying? It was on Dende Hour.
We saw you on Dende Hour. Anybody that pops up on Dende Hour, we all know Dende, all right?
Yeah. Yes.
So first, we're gonna go all the way back. We want to know the history of Too Raw. And one of the most interesting things I saw when I was reading about you is like you had like a family member that had a studio.
Yeah. My grandpa actually, he does music. He like gets paid from the shit. He's for real. Like,
okay, that's what I wanted to talk about. Your grandfather, what kind of music does he do?
He play all kinds of instruments really, but he on more on that Tejano kind of way. But even then, it's just like more jazzy stuff. Like he played a sax. Like the man. That's where I'm pretty sure I got my musical blood from. Like the man's a genius.
Now, your parents or anything, do they do any music at all?
No, not at all. But like my mom, the thing with her is just like she just schooled me on so much knowledge of music. So when I was little, she was listening to all kinds of shit from like Cypress Hill, and then of course like Guns N' Roses, like all kinds of rock, and then rap, and then all these random songs I know now just because of her and like all the music she showed me when I was little and shit.
So as you're going in, like you're just going up to your grandpa's studio, and just like seeing what he's doing, and that's what starts to get you interested in music?
I already knew like at school I was writing battle raps and stuff, and I was recording them on my friend's MP3 player. We would go after school and download like Spit Your Game, BIG instrumental and shit. And I would just go in on the MP3 and I'm like, man, I got like 7 songs. And then of course my mom was like, why don't you go to Grandpa's studio? He'll let you record there for free. So I go, and at this point I'm like what, 14, 15. And it's like I didn't know how to record a song. I'm doing the songs in the whole one take. It's hilarious. And my grandpa just let me. He was like, "Yeah, just go in there, do what you want, mijo." And I'm fucking the whole song, no takes. I do the hook again, all in one breath. It's hilarious, bro. That's funny, bro.
So you know what? Once you start recording, because I'm sure you get some stuff on record, and then you play it for your grandpa. Like, what's his first reactions when you first start doing it?
He didn't even know what to say, like the shit I was rapping about. Because when you first start rapping, of course, you're not where you want to be. And I'm saying the dumbest shit too, like, and I want some Escalade with some 20-inch rims. He's like, oh yeah, sounds real good. Sounds real good. I know he was lying. That shit was horrible.
You still got those recordings?
Hell yeah, I have like a disc, but I always keep it like just for the future days. Like, oh, y'all want to hear where I came from? And it's me on fucking Eminem till I collapse, talking about I'ma keep flowing till I die. I'm a real gangster. I ain't gonna lie. Like, what was horrible?
You were 14 being a whole gangster.
Yeah, that's true.
So then you actually that's what I'll say. You were talking about you used to be writing battle raps, and you start to get a lot of notoriety writing battle raps and performing. I mean, you win some competitions. One of these competitions you won had you open it up for Slaughterhouse.
Yeah. It was like, I don't even know what was what anymore. Like, I was just winning shit, and then sometimes it would open up another door to here. I opened up for Slaughterhouse or like Warehouse Live. But I think you're talking about, there was this one. I went to LA and they flew me out and everything. And I was opening up for Tech 9 and shit, like at the Microsoft Theater. It was fucking sick.
What? Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Which one? Okay, so which one came first? Was it Slaughterhouse or was it Tech 9?
Well, the Slaughterhouse thing, I think I just, I don't even know what had happened. I just know I ended up, and I got to open for Slaughterhouse. I forgot what I had won, though. But yeah, that shit was so long. I know, bro. I know. I sound horrible. Hell yeah, bro.
No. That's cool, because I was like, look, we're big Slaughterhouse fans for that little brief moment. We were like, yeah, this is gonna happen. Like, people are gonna really like this, and then they just went, Joe Budden messed it up.
Wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Joe Budden was like, I'm gonna do a podcast, and so we were like, all right, that's dumb. And then I said, and then look at that man. I was like, oh, now you was smart. You was real smart. But when like getting flown out, like how old were you when you got flown out to do Tech 9?
So getting flown out, like Future, he flies. No, this was like 2016. So I was still like, early 20s and shit. So yeah, it was cool. Like, it was cool not paying for shit, and then it was cool like finally not flying Spirit. So that was definitely what I'm saying, fucking. I'm like, damn, they play movies on this fucking plane. This is dope.
What airline was it?
Man, I don't remember. American Airlines, I think it was.
I only fly going from a budget airline to like a real airline, and then you're like, oh, y'all got like plugs in the seats?
Yeah. Like, bro, what life was I living? Like,
so you open up for Tech 9, and then it's there's with your career, there are two things I noticed. One, there are like these kind of starts and stops, and two, it's you get these amazing cosigns, but then you also don't. Like, it's like people be hitting you up, and like I'll flip on the TV. I flip on the TV, but it's not cable, it's internet, and it's like, oh, look, he's like on other stuff, like outside of the city. So what is that like when you're trying to build up your career and you're trying to figure out your path? Like, okay, this is what I got to do next.
Oh, that's a badass question. Thank you for asking that. But really, of course, everybody tells you the same thing. You got to leave Houston. It's not like something here. Everybody's got kind of something bad to say about it, which really, like, certain situations that were here in Houston, they were still big looks for me, like the H-Town rap battle and shit like that. Like that shit gave me a boost up when I was feeling like I kind of hit a like a ceiling, you know. I was trying to stop doing the battle rap shit and the ciphers and all that. I was just trying to focus and be like, what am I really gonna do? Like, am I gonna do this forever? Am I gonna do like make records, make songs, and you know that was a constant battle with myself. So I feel like me going out of state and getting those different experiences, like bro, first time I performed in Atlanta, I performed there like I think 2 or 3 times already. But first time I performed, bro, people with cameras was out and shit, like they didn't know who the fuck I was. These people with cameras out and shit, like I'm like headlining this shit. So like that itself was inspiring, but at the point it was like, okay, well now I got to go and like make some music, like some music that's gonna stand out. So as the years go on, I'm kind of trying to find my sound and test different waters. And I don't want to be this thing anymore that everybody labels me like, oh, hey, well, we got battle rapper here, da da da, which is cool. I understand because that's where I came from. But at the same time, I'm kind of trying to break out that shell and grow into a different thing, like a you know, even as a man, like a spiritual being type shit, you know. But I ain't trying to blab. But yeah.
No, we on a podcast. That's the
Yeah.
point. You're supposed to blab on the
You're supposed to
podcast,
blab on yourself, man.
and that is also one of the interesting because you're musically. Okay. When I say musically talented, I mean you do other stuff besides just battle rapping. And what is your path in terms of developing? Because like you listen to your albums, it ain't just like yo, I'm just straight spit for an hour. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm really out here developing melodies, da da da. How is it trying to separate yourself from the battle rap and still being like, no, I still know how to battle rap, guys. Like I'm still good, but I also want to do other stuff.
Yeah, that's it's a constant wall I'm hitting for sure. Like it's always like I show people some experimental stuff and like, bro, what the fuck? This is crazy. This is crazy than anything you ever done. And at the same time, there's some people like, hey, bro, like drop a freestyle or something, like do like 16s or like a 16 for us or something. It's like, okay, cool. So now it's like when people come to my shows, it's dope because like I get to do these important songs to me, these songs that are my favorite songs that I've ever made, like melody wise, like substance wise. Like I get to do hints of like real songs that I really love, and then in the middle I just throw all the little rap like hoo ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fucking show. Like I'm at a circus and I got 10 minutes or 15 minutes to display. Like I do this, I do that, I do that. And I try to put it all in one set. And it's been working out really well for me since I started doing that kind of shit. And like, I don't know, just got a different audience and even different kind of like show bookings. They'll put me on shows with like R&B artists or like spoken word poetry people. So yeah.
Now, and this is just to put it in perspective for a lot of people because some people don't know. What's the largest prize that you've won from a rap battle?
So supposedly I was supposed to win at that Tech Nine shit 25,000, but that shit was a whole sham. They didn't even like.
Oh, what happened?
It was supposed to look. Was supposed to the dude who put it all together was some dude from LA or whatever. He already sketchy dude kind of himself or whatever. But everything like when I got flown out, everything was paid for. Everything was good. They telling us here was the gist. And this is what happened, but I think it all broke down. We're supposed to be shooting someone's fucking pilot for like Spike TV. So we're in LA where they got us the condo. They're recording. It's like a whole like reality show or some shit. It's fucking funny. Like I swear, bro. Like they had us even battle each other at the house to see who would get the master bedroom or whatever. Boy, I beat everybody. Like, so what happened was, bro. So it's before the big competition or whatever. Like, we're gonna be at the Microsoft Theater. It's crazy. It's Tech Nine. It's like, you know, it's a big deal. It's dope. It was dope. I was happy to be a part of it, but at the same time, it felt kind of shammy. The dude that was recording us for the pilot or whatever, this fool before he went to the hotel for the next day, they took him out to like Inglewood or somewhere. They jumped this fool, stole his camera, stole his money. This man was in the hospital. He didn't even get to see his project to its full fruition because he was in the hospital. Yeah. So they lost all the footage. They didn't get to do no show. There was like no money, you know what I'm saying? Like they broke off a little for sure, but like, you know, I wanted fucking like life-changing shit, you know, and it sucks because everybody's hitting me up and they think like, hey bro, what the fuck? You finna sign with Tech Nine, you finna blow. I was like,
Also, people think you got 25,000 on you. You know, it's like that Dave Chappelle.
Bro, it's coming in payments, dog. Like, bro. Shit funny.
So as you're developing your battle rap skills, you're like, yo, look, I'm winning these battle raps, and at a certain point, you're finally like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and create an album. All right, tell us about that first album and what went into it.
Like I would feel like Bobby Trolito, the one I just dropped like 2 years ago or whatever, like before the pandemic. That was like my first real album. That was my first like I don't know. It just felt different as opposed to just dropping mixtapes and like putting them online and shit. This felt like something real. We had the release party. It was fucking feel like it was fucking packed to the brim. Like I was crying type shit. Like this is dope. Like this many people believe in me. Like we sold them out the trunk, all that kind of style. But I just felt that that was my first real body work, real things where I was talking about like real shit and making catchy songs and catchy hooks and even bridges, like just trying different things and putting things in the background. I'm just like, oh, like heart, like it's crazy, like when I started doing that, that's when I really started seeing different kind of progress as opposed to like, oh, bro, you fucking killed that cipher or whatever. I seen you in San Antonio at this random bar. I was like, cool, I love that. I appreciate it so much, though. But at the same time, I like when these older people are coming up to me like, bro, I don't even come to rap shows, but your shit was dope, it was amazing, you're unique and blah blah blah. Like, man, it's that's what it is for me. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, the other thing too is, and I'm pretty sure people can gather it from the interview, you're high energy.
Oh
One of
yeah.
the shows we saw you at was of course, and we always love to shout her out, Amy at Bounce and Turn.
Yes.
We saw you at one of those, and like there are certain artists we just seen at Bounce. Amy, Dende, I think we saw Susan
Really,
Farrell, Lily Aviana. It's like those artists that we see at Bounce and Turn, and Bounce and Turn is always a great underground showcase, but it's also like you have to catch people's attention. Some people came for one artist, some people came for another. There are people wandering around, that kind of thing. And it's like if you're talented, you're gonna grab people's attention. So like when God Body Bingo gets up with the signs and stuff like that, it's like, okay, you're about to catch people's attention. It's easy to spot a lot of artists that got it, and you're one of those artists that gets up there and just rips it. What talk about going into live shows? Because you look like you look like you really like to perform live.
Oh hell yeah, that's my favorite part. Like making music in the studio is cool, but man, it takes long. It's a long time, and not even just laying the song down, but like hearing that shit 1,000 times when it's getting like mixed and shit. Like man, I kind of get tired of them, but like performing them live, that's the best because it shows. What it shows what I'm really working toward, like getting people, not so much getting people's attention, but getting people to like I'm getting people sold on it. Like, okay, this is believable. Like this guy's fucking dope. Like I think he's gonna do something. Let me get behind. Let me support it. So that's my chance to fucking prove myself. Even when I was going in fucking all them ciphers and it's like a whole black club and I'm like the only Mexican dude in there, I was like, fuck. Like, but it's like I still did it. As soon as I spit like a couple bar, people like the crowd would be like, oh, and I knew I was like, oh, I know I had something, and now I just have to add my pizzazz and get people's attention. Like everybody raps, everybody's trying to perform and do music, but I just wanted to bring something different. Like that's why I'm throwing snacks to the people. I'm trying to get people involved. Like I'm trying to like make a good impression because there's a lot of people that are seeing you for the first time, and I'm trying to get turn on them. That's why it comes back to earlier where I'm doing like a boom bap record, and then the next one I'm doing like fucking some hype shit, and the next one I'm doing like a slow like low like sing along shit. Like I want some, it could be a whole crowd. At least one person's gonna like one thing, so that's the most important part. This is where I'm selling people. This is where I'm convincing people that it's real and I really do this with the passion. And I really, I'll be up there fucking tearing up sometimes when I do like the more deeper stuff. But yeah, like that's all me right there. Like that's my shit. Like I'm an artist, but I'm really like an entertaining, like you know what I'm saying? That's why my shit is the energy company. I'm providing my energy to these people and trying to connect. We're all different. We all believe in different things and politics and all this, but when I'm on the fucking stage, I got people like smiling and laughing because I'm saying some fucking dumb shit, like trying to watch porn, but the video keep on buffering, and everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like everyone just forget about all that shit, and everybody's having a good time, and that's what I'm here for. Make the impression on people and like connect with people and shit like that.
And that's what it is because, like I said, even at the shows we seen you at, one, you're funny. So there's that too. I was like, you're funny, and it's like this controlled chaos. Like it's like, yo, he's gonna be doing a whole lot of different types of songs, and then he's gonna just keep on going. And I always like an artist that rocks. I think we saw you at one thing, and it was like you got the crowd. Like you got them to go because it's like, nah, man, we gonna have fun tonight, and it's just like, oh, okay. Like I like this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, come on, man. Why not? I just my favorite is like when everyone's actually participating and doing this. Like okay, this is badass. I'm fucking Illuminati. This is crazy. Like, I'm not controlling these people. Nah, I'm just playing, but still, it's a badass feeling to like, okay, they like me enough to like follow instructions and you know what I'm saying, have a good time. Like, I know people may not know me or whatever, but it's like, man, we gonna, you know, make it the thing, like the
Yeah.
real thing, you know?
Yeah, because you can get, I mean, Houston, we like to chill. And when you got us moving, can you get us moving instantly? That's one thing I go, I don't even know him. But I'm like, I'm going to wave my hand because he's funny. But one
Exactly.
thing about that is you have such high energy. How did you fare through the pandemic with not being able to perform?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that shit sucked. And I know I'm not the only person. I know, I mean, all artists should feel this way, like not being able to be. My favorite thing, like you said, is performing. I love being out there with the people. Even when I'm not performing, I love to go to shows. I love to meet people. I'm trying to, hey, bro, this is what I'm doing. You know, yada yada. It's just, it was like, and it was hard. But at the same time, I wrote some of my best music because I had like so much time to be with myself. And it's kind of like when I'm rapping on stage or whatever, it's not like I'm putting on a front because that's who I am, but that's also like my musical, like that's my, you know, there's another side where I'm just like chilling and I have my own doubts and insecurities. So I'm dealing with both these things and I'm having like ego trips and shit. Like, bro, like I'm not fucking too raw. Like I'm fucking Bobby, bro. Like I'm just me. Like I don't know. It's a crazy thing. It was a crazy time, but I wrote some of my best music. So I was grateful for it in that aspect. But like not being able to perform, especially when things was getting high for me, like I was getting paid shows, like it was all my shows were being paid. I was like, oh, it's lit. Like it's gonna come to fruition. And then bam, it was a tough one, bro. But hey, like, you know, just did what we could. I was doing studio performances and the virtual shit, like, and you know,
Mm.
just to just get that little high, you know.
How was the virtual show though? How did you feel doing? What was the virtual? Was Texas Wet?
It was cool. It was like, I mean, I definitely got some followers off of that shit. And like the one that I did specifically, like me, I don't like to rap on my vocals. So I was really the only one that stood out because I just rapped on like just the pure beat, you know, because that's how I perform. But fucking, I don't know, y'all know like these like OG legends, like I mean, obviously SPM, but like Rashid and like Low G, all these
Yeah.
little, you know, it's that Latino shit. But Rashid had hit me up because he seen mine and he was like, "Yo, fucking dope energy, keep doing that shit." I was like, "Man, it's fucking Rashid, dope." Like, you know, it's cool to get a little respect from the OGs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
It's just
real.
tight.
And what is that also too when you talk about like Houston has a long history. I mean, going all the way back to the beginning when we talk about Houston hip hop of Latino rappers. And but they're also it's kind of like a section where they're like, okay, that's Latino rappers. Now you see,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. So it's like, and most people would be like, okay, well, the SPM and
Baby
yeah, and
Bash.
then it's like, nah, there's a long history of Latino rappers, and I see now artists like Doman. We're seeing artists like you, with like we're seeing more that are bringing it to the forefront, and also it's not like the I'm the Latino rapper that's around some black guys. It's more
Yeah,
like
yeah, classic.
I'm a Latino rapper, and uh, being a Latino is part of me. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
see it in my videos, you're gonna see it around. Like it is what it is. What is that like being a part of this new one? What's it like getting love from a lot of the old class that sees this and it's like, yo, it's happening again. It's just like starting to come up. And what's it like being part of that class?
Man, it's dope. I always say it's like a blessing, but it's like kind of a bit of a curse because we're all putting ourselves in a box. But also we understand that the Latin market is so big, and once it has like certain but people it can catch on to, like you know, those people get big, and that's like much respect, and it's dope. It's a lot of weight to hold, but at the same time, I'm breaking the mold as like I'm not gonna make it my whole thing. I want to be like a for everybody and not just one class of people. But like I love my people. I love my people that respect me and you know that fuck with me and it's like, oh yeah, keep killing it for the Rasa and shit. All with it. I'm all for it. But at the same time, I'm just trying to draw in other different crowds. I'm trying to draw younger people, older people, white people, black people, don't even matter, Asian people. I don't give a damn. Like I just want my shit to knock to a certain point where it's like, okay, there's rap music and then there's what I'm doing, which is a little bit of rap and a little bit of, like I want fucking sing along, like lighters at my shit, like I want, you know, make songs that connect to people. And I feel like that's what I'm getting more into with this more newer stuff.
Now,
That's another thing I wanted to ask too, because as a battle rapper, you be singing, bruh. and I love it. Like I love it.
I be trying.
No, you're doing it. I'm not saying you're Omarion. Yes, I said Omarion Devon.
No, wait.
Exactly. But I'm just saying,
of all the people to sing, that's who you went with. You like, oh, I'm not saying you Omarion.
Shut up. Okay, I'm trying to.
Omarion.
He's a huge Omarion fan.
I'm trying to ask questions. I like Omarion. But,
yeah. Touch, come on, touch. That's a what
I'm saying is, where does that come from inside of you? You think you got that from your grandfather?
No, man. I think it's just because I was like, I have two sisters, but we kind of grew up apart from each other. So I was always alone, and I was always just trying to gravitate towards something. I was always trying to do something, and then, like, my cousins and shit, they were bad. Like, we were all bad, like stealing from the stores and shit. But they were on some shit where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna try to get into gangs and all that. And I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to like kiss girls and shit. And so I'm writing poems, and like from the jump, I was always writing poems. And then at a certain point, it's like I just started like putting words together. And then of course 8 Mile came out, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? I gotta get into this shit. So it's like, yeah, I've been doing this shit since like I don't even know. I think I fucking forgot the question, to be honest. I'll just keep laughing, bro. God damn.
I love your energy.
Yeah.
But I was asking about your singing though. Where does that come from?
Okay, so I feel like I don't really even sing. Like I was just trying it as a point. I came to this wall where it was like I started having more fun with my music, get more playful with the ad libs, and I'm doing things in the background. I did it for somebody else's song, and I was like, why don't you do this? And it's in the back, and it sounds all crazy, like airy, the way my engineer did it. It's like I sound like the fucking Weekend, but I was just like the weekday or something, you know what I'm saying? But fucking, bro, once I heard that shit, I was like, whoa, what have I even been doing? Like, bro, I could do this shit. I feel like now with this new generation of artists, you got to be able to melodize some shit. Now, I wouldn't say necessarily sing, but you got to have some melodic songs. You got to, this and that. So it's like, I hit that wall. So I was like, either I'm a keep going with it or what. So yeah, I started dropping a little bit more vocals in my shit. I think it's pretty live sometimes.
I think it's live too. That's what I'm saying. I'm asking about it because I like it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Is your grandfather, is he still alive? Is he still with us?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy, bro. Because the most recent show I did a couple weeks back, I performed the House of Blues, right? My grandpa performed like 3 days before me at the House of Blues too. Like the man stay working. Like the man is the. You know what I'm saying?
So with that, you gonna get you and your grandfather, y'all got a track together?
Or that's so funny. No one's ever asked that. That would be hilarious. I'm gonna tell him to play some bongos or something. He be fucking around with the bongos. This man on the sax. This man got the guitar, keyboard. Like, come on, man. This man.
You gotta do it.
Fantastic. I'm telling you, man. You gotta do it. If you put together an album with your grandfather on it, with some interludes of them old tracks that you first did in his studio, full circle. Full circle.
Real circle. Having his dad on the end of Life's a Bitch.
That would be dope. I would fucking. That's actually a pretty good idea for real.
I'm telling you. Because, I mean, the music is just all about the story. You know what I mean? And, like, you get your story. I like your story as well because you're also big on family. Like, when we talk about your grandfather, but even now, like, your grandfather's grandchild now, great-grandchild, you're a father now, and it's a big part of you as well. How has that affected the music?
That was crazy because I thought I heard you say earlier, but I'm actually not a father, bro. I'm not a father, but I'm glad that you looked at. No,
wait a minute.
No, hold on. R.I.P. though. No, it's because I had a son, but he passed away during birth. So that was the thing. Like I still carry it around, like you know what I'm saying, still kind of happen type shit. Like you know.
Okay.
I know energy just shot down like, oh fuck, my bad.
No. Because that's definitely our bad. We should double research on that.
Bro, you're super good.
But okay. So
I be sunning, boy, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it is, man. I just fucking good job.
No, I'm not. Look. You were covered for us, so we appreciate that. He was like, oh, let me bring the energy back up.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when y'all went to Astroworld, did you see Tori Moore? Are y'all into that kind of shit? Did y'all get to see him?
Yes, we got it. We got to see him.
What y'all think of that shit? It's just live, right? It's like
I'm gonna say one thing that I like because I'm old. I'm 41. About Astroworld was as a festival, everybody got like 20 to 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes, you break out the hot songs. Like you okay, let's go. And so you're just sitting there like, it's a great snippet of an artist's career. So you see it real quick and they go all out. Like, there ain't no building up the energy in your set. Like, you come out hard and then you like, let's go. And then you go and then you sit down. And I was
had
like,
to ask, bro. I had to ask because that's why I wanted to like. That was one main reason I was like, man, should I pop up? But I was like, man, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna relax.
That was they were, and the other thing too was I was interested. Like for the next day, I was like, how Earth, Wind, and Fire gonna do 20 minutes? Like I was like, I want to know how they gonna do it.
Man,
like
Paula.
I said, what they gonna do?
That would be like, how many just like, oh, geez, like you got a bunch of 15-year-old kids. Like I'm talking about some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like my parents.
They know September from the meme.
They know September.
Yeah, exactly. From the meme.
A lot of kids gonna know September.
Yeah. They got into with that one for sure.
That's 20 minutes of September.
Because who was that? The photographer, Marco from Houston. We was trying to get in when Master P started. We was at the gate. And what we could hear Master P playing, and we missed it. We just missed it. But he was like, dog, I was there. He's like, Master P, it was incredible. It was great. But he goes, I was in like a 20-person radius. I definitely was the only person that knew these songs. Like these kids was not, but I was literally like, he goes, Miss My Homies came on, and I was just out here like, yeah. So
they got your lighter in the daytime, and I miss my.
I would have been going stupid, bro. I was at this little thing. They started playing like, man. I came up like listening to so much different shit. So like, we're at this spot and fucking like Limp Bizkit, like I'm gonna do things my way. It's like, oh, bro, I'm gonna turn the fuck up. Like this.
Think about wrestling and shit when you was a kid.
I was look at me like, nah, sounds tight though. Like, man, yeah, I ain't got no fucking culture.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, wait,
were you always this energetic as a kid, though? Were you like the kid that they was like, you need to chill out?
Oh, no, like, I never needed medication type shit, but, like, I was always wilding, and I always, like, was trying to be funny, but there's always the dude that be doing the most. Like, he'll fucking piss his pants, and, like, oh, bro, like, I can't compete with that. I only got, like, good jokes. Like, I'm not gonna do antics to make everybody laugh. Like,
you know what? It's a good thing you weren't that kid. Yeah. That kid don't go far, man. No. Like maybe everyone, like Johnny Knoxville and them did it, and then that, now you're like, all right.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie. There was this one time I got my hair cut, right? And I didn't know I went to a new barber, and I just told him, man, just give me a number 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just a little, like, not a full 1, but a 2. Yo, this Asian lady, she cut all my hair off, but just left, I'm talking about my front bangs. I swear to God. Dog. So when you talk about, like, going to school and making everybody laugh, I was making everybody laugh because they were fucking roasting me, bro. I had a comb. I was all bald with just a comb. I swear to God, bro, worst 2 weeks of my life, bro. Like, man. I was talking about, I was running up here like, man, I'm going to run away from home. Fuck
Here's the thing, though, and I never understand it. Like, why didn't you just cut it off? Why didn't you just say, yo, let me just start fresh?
I wish I would have had the clippers like that. I thought, and it was crazy. It's like my mom would try to come out. She got them horrible clippers. Once they start getting to go, they pull your shit. Fuck that. I'm sitting there crying and shit. Like, I can't do this, mom. She acting like she too broke. Pay $5 for a haircut. Back then haircuts were still $5. Not like now. They're like $30, $40.
Oh no, I don't know now. But I don't know now. I mean, back in the day, our mom used to cut our hair for like a minute, and then my dad took us to the barbershop, and then because she was like, nah, it's good. And then we came home and she was like, I'm sorry, I should have been cutting y'all's hair. We was like, we told you it's not good.
She had time to think about it, like, you know what, maybe I did it wrong.
Yeah. I was like, Doug, now that you've seen what a real haircut looks like, I'm sorry. Like, you did it. Congratulations. You did cut hair. Was it good? Nah, it wasn't.
You're the sheep, nigga.
Yo, my grandma talking about like, no, I got this. Don't worry. I used to work in a salon. I was like, y'all cut hair back in that day? Like, no. Man, I'm telling you, boy. Good times.
Now, what we're talking about now, I mean, we talked about your past, present, what the future. When we're talking about the future of like, what albums do you have? I mean, you just said you spent the pandemic writing. You know what I mean? You spent the pandemic writing. What can we expect to hear from you coming up?
Man, I was supposed to have been dropping album for like 3 months, but really I'm just sitting on it because it's to the point where it's like all my money that I'm stashing up is for like strictly like I'm trying to get on like playlists and I'm trying to like submit my shit to get like in commercials and like TV shows and shit. Like I'm trying to go that route. I'm trying to get more shit going for the music. Like I'm tired of just like dropping stuff and they'll get like a couple thousand streams or whatever. Cool, but like and even like when I dropped my album, I did hard copies, and a lot of people don't do that no more. But everybody showed love and copped one and paid extra like just to show love. So it's like I made it like a decent amount of money, but it's like got to the point where it's like okay, I could make money, but it's like man, I'm trying to push this shit forward. I'm only getting older and I'm kind of getting more in tune with like my mental shit, like my mental health, and I don't know, like I get that wall where it's like after everybody gets in that wall where you just want to stop making music because kind of like it's putting a stress on your life. Like I sacrificed so much for this shit, just to like get some love and get all dope, like performing all that. I love it, but at the same time, it's like man, I'm just getting older. And it's like what am I really doing? But I just keep something in me just keeps going, and I got this shit coming out hopefully within the next year for sure. But I'm trying to do it before then. But I got a line of shows in December, like in Austin and San Antonio, and like so I'm just trying to have that music ready before then. But it's really just like on some shit where it's like the right timing kind of thing because it's already everybody I play for. They're like, bro, this shit is fucking crazy. It's like it's different. It has rap on there, but then it has like a kind of other different shit too. But it's just infumed and it's so smooth and nice. Like I want to show everybody this shit. I want to show y'all this shit too. Like that's how much I believe in it. And like shit is dope.
And that, you know what? I mean, what you're saying is a sentiment that we're hearing from a lot of artists, a lot of guests that we've had on the show, a lot of people, because we focus on Houston artists. And there is a thing where it's like, I'm getting better and better at creating content. Like, you know what I mean? But in terms of the marketability and everything, that's not translating. And you get to this point where you're like, okay, what am I doing this for? But y'all definitely love it because y'all keep doing it. But it is good now to see everybody starting to try to figure out ways like I gotta figure out another kind of way to get this stuff out. But it's a huge hurdle to get over with. I'm glad you talked about like getting in tune with like your mental health because it's definitely gonna affect you mentally when you putting in your best and you're like, okay, I'm getting. Even when you said like I'm making a living, but I want to make more. You know what I mean?
For real though, yeah. Like I don't know. I look up to people like Fat Tony and people like that are doing it and can sustain themselves and still be able to be creatively free and still always push more like to be bigger too. Like you got things going, but you always want to keep like see how far you could take it. Like I'm trying to be, what I'm saying, especially now that I'm older and I feel like I don't have to compete with like young people in that young sound. Like now I'm just like I got OG fans from like 2012 type shit to now to all these new fans that fuck with my newer shit. But it's like I don't know. I just want to keep going because the love from people is so real. And pandemic did suck because I don't get to be face to face. That's my favorite thing, being face to face. I got people giving me 10-minute conversations of just telling me like, bro, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. Like I see it now. Like you have this, you have that. Like bro, even when y'all guys, telling me and showing me this love, I take everything in, and it just like kind of the only really thing that keeps me going. So it sucks being away from them people. But now that I'm back out here and seeing motherfuckers, like I got motherfuckers recognizing me at like shows I'll be going to and my homies and shit. Shit is dope, bro. So
Now, when the pandemic finally, well, let's not say ended, but we're in Houston.
yeah.
So at a certain point, look, let's be real. I mean, one of the big things, like, because I had people from out the state hitting me up, like, you went to Astroworld, y'all are having concerts. I said, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. This is Texas. Like, this is
like
Greg.
we trying to look down like, oh man, they wilding out there in Florida. Then we kind of look at us like, yeah,
I said we be wilding too. I said this is Greg Abbott country. Like that man said, we are open. All right, so we have been open. When we finally did, and people made jokes like, "Oh, Texas never closed." We closed. It was briefly.
Yeah.
So when we opened back up, what was the first show that you actually performed at, and describe that experience?
Oh, man, I'm trying to figure. I think it was like, and it was crazy because it was all that. It was around the time I think all the snow had happened too. So it just was the weekend after. So everyone's still like, some people still didn't even have power or nothing. But we had
Yeah.
all these people out in my homie's studio. He opens up the lot and he'll throw down a little show. I came through, and like a lot of people came through. Like even like fans, like it's cool. People, my homies and shit come out, but it's like when actual people come out that I know from like the internet or something, or they're like, hey, yeah, I seen you here one time, and they still hit me up like, hey, I'm gonna come through. Like, fuck yeah, come through. So like the fact that it was that kind of thing, and it was like an intimate show, and I got to like do a song I never did before. The song I dropped like during the pandemic type shit. I got to finally do it like, and like to see everybody. That's like everybody's favorite song because that was chill. It's relatable. It's saying real shit. Like it's like not afraid to say like I act like I'm okay, but like I always feel like I can't do this life shit right. Like I wanna whatever, whatever. But just connecting with those people, it was probably like 30 of us, 30 people, maybe 40. But like in that little lot, it's freezing. We out here rocking. I'm like, man, it's good to be back. Like this is what I meant. I met this girl. She like, yeah, I know so and you reposted your shit. So I had to come show love because I love the song that you performed. I was like, dude, fucking sick. Yeah, thank you. Like badass. Like, shit is dope, man, for real.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everybody make sure to go follow him on Instagram. He's gonna say what his Instagram is, but one of the fun, he's funny too, because how's the stunt double work for Mario Lopez going?
You know what I'm saying? Bro, man, tell me, some old lady told me that way, way back, and I ran with that shit. I swear to God. Hey, I swear to God, people talking about, bro, I meet this one girl at the bar, and it's crazy because the same bar, it was like the girls at the bar, and then there's another like set of three girls. I'm with my two homies, and she's like, hey, didn't you just perform at whatever, whatever the other night? And I was like, yeah, that's me. So I'm already like flexing, like, yes, man. I run the city looking ass boy. And then fucking the girl, she starts telling me, oh my God, you look like Bad Bunny. And then, bro, so don't tell me some shit like that because I'm running with it. People talking about Mario Lopez, talking about Bad Bunny, talking about, man, I'm running with it. I'm getting Adam Sandler. I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, Waterboy in this bitch. I don't even damn. Let's get it.
No matter who it is.
No matter who. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
take it as compliments, man. Shit.
Now, so people can see that you even got in your bio stunt double for Mario Lopez.
Yeah,
Tell
for
people where
sure.
they can find you on all your socials, websites, all that stuff where they can find the music.
Man, at OMG, the number 2, and then Raw, OMG2 Raw on everything, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, just one word it, and you'll find all this shit. 2 Raw on all streaming services. Just download Bobby Trolito, like, hear that shit. You're taking it slow. It's like my favorite song I've ever done. And I just, trying to get more people in tune, trying to do a couple little bit more shows around Texas and get more people on board before I really come out with this album. And do another listening party. I know it's gonna be dope, but it's definitely gonna be different now. It's like you feel like you won't get that same amount. Like, bro, I packed the fucking house when like my last release, my last listening party. So I want to do the same, but I just know COVID and all this shit. It's just it sucks, but I'm trying to work around it, and I'm trying to like drop this music because it's a dope project, and I feel like it will tie so good in with Bobby Trolito, and it just like continue my little like thing I have going, like this exploration of sound and just being who I really am and fucking all that shit, man. Hell yeah.
Oh well, shoot. Okay, okay.
All right. Thank you very much for coming by, staying in, as we say. Also, people, as I say all the time, purchase the music, support the artist, buy the merch, stream, of course, if anything, at the least stream.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you say purchase, what do you mean by purchase?
I mean, go and purchase, like buy the albums.
Hell
Like
yeah.
find out from where, if it's on Bandcamp, buy it. If you have to buy a physical copy, buy it. Y'all talk about how rich y'all are all the time, though. I'm just saying. No.
Yes. Quit giving these artists pennies, and then being like, and I'm not saying, oh, don't stream it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying buy and stream. You really like an artist? Break $10.
What they say?
You got $10
for
That's
a million
less than
streams.
Starbucks.
Summer Walker makes $600. Okay,
Oh my God.
but you know what? That's way higher than everybody else is making still.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, look,
Yeah.
you need to stream and purchase. If it's a hoodie, buy it. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren got enough money. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's been another great.
Hey, Ralph might sponsor us one day, so we're sorry, Ralph.
You think
We're
know my closet, brother?
We're sorry, Ralph. Like
I love you, Ralph.
We like you. We want you to have all the money in the world, Ralph.
It is Ralph, though. It is Ralph. The thing is, man, thank you so much for coming by, Too Raw. OMG Too Raw and everything, as he stated. Once again, this is my brother, Just Divine, and I'm Avery, like a very nice guy, in my humble opinion. Humbly yours. H-Town, Too Sweet.
Hot dogs.